here I go. Welcome back to another day of trading Bitcoin with King. This information is not intended for financial advice, so please do your due diligence before doing or making any decisions based on this information. So anyway, guys, so I'm gonna jump into it. Oops. I messed that up, sorry. Anyway, it's okay. So anyway, guys, we're going to start off with a weekly chart. And again, this descending triangle has been playing out quite nicely since, back in January. So anyway, I want to take a look at this and make it a little bit bigger here. As we talked about, we did get rejected again here. Didn't quite get to the top there. It failed to break that line. But it was on the second trend line that I had in there as well. I took it out just so that I can kind of have a little bit cleaner of a chart. But anyway, so obviously the rules behind a descending triangle are when they break 50% of the top of the triangle. So this distance here, in this instance, this distance is $6,700 basically. Okay, so I expect us to break this triangle down shortly. It may even happen within the next few days. I think it'll definitely happen on this weekly candle. But anyway, so 50% of that, I drew this line here, and this line is also, for some reason it's not showing up on there, but it's $6,700. It's the same amount as the drop. And your center line comes out at about $2,800, or about $3,000, where we've had, historically 3,000 was strong resistance and became support. So this is a very possible drop area. Just keep that in mind. I don't think we'll fall past the 5,000 range, but for T8 reasonings, we're going to go ahead and say that it is very possible that we hit the 3,000 mark and test that area. I think it's going to be hard to do, but I think that it is possible, so just keep that in mind. Because right now we're playing again with the bottom of this triangle here. I have this triangle set at 6150. Basically where I can catch a lot of the closing candles and some wicks. But that's kind of what I see happening there, so just keep that in mind on here. Those measurements tell us, somewhere at this support level at 3,000. Let's see here. Also have the monthly chart I wanted to show you guys. Here. Was it on this chart? No, it wasn't on this chart. There it is. Okay, so on the monthly chart here, I've got this downtrend line here. So obviously when this month before the last weekly candle, we were testing the top of this triangle, which was looking like it was either a possible breakout or we stayed there. So sequential system that we're on a red 2. It's not below the red 1 all the way yet, but I think it will. As that happens, I think that we could see, a full sequential in the 9 down to a bottom again around that 3,000 range that we were talking about. So we need to keep an eye on that. If you look back at the 2014 bear market, here to here, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, you know what? I can just count these candles and make this easy here. So we had 18 months of bear market. Okay, 18 months of bear market, and right now we're having Here we're having, well, we're not even through 12 yet. I mean, if you really think about it. We're having, right now, you could say we're at 8 months. So there's still a possibility that we have another 8, 10 months of this bear market, which could go to about there. 10 months to the bear market end, which would be June next year, which could happen. So we need to just, you know, prepare for that and expect that to happen. It's very possible that that does happen. We need to watch this. If this monthly close, if we close this with a new lower, or if we close the monthly candle with a lower low, then we will almost most certainly see a nasty red candle. So just keep that in mind, and that could be next month, November or October, sorry. Let's move on to more of the smaller time frames. So now on the hourly chart, I drew this line yesterday, and this was just a little line, and it ended up breaking out. I set some shorts up here at the 70 or at the 6,400 range, and we caught one. I believe that we're going to come back down, and you know, we kind of tested that little bit of support level. But this downtrend, after we broke out a little fake pump, came back down. Now we're back into that same trend line. It's kind of fallen back under it. So we'll see what happens, but I expect us to keep going down here. You know, we'll just see how it plays out. But I expect it to come down. We could come back up and test, you know, the 6,200, 6,300 range. That is possible. But I think we're losing steam here pretty quick. So that's kind of the outlook on the hourly. Again, we're still playing inside of this little, not even worth a dead cat bounce. So let's keep that in mind as well. Let's take a look at the BB. So here's the weekly chart on the BB, which I believe we will most certainly test the bottom of this BB probably really quick. When you look at this, usually the BB starts to dip here, and that 128-day moving average, or 128 week, or wait, no, that's the 20-week moving average, is starting to decline as well. Okay, starting to fall down. Same thing with the top of the BB. The bottom's not coming up though; it's not squeezing the price yet. Okay, for some reason I've got a thing going on here. Whoa. Okay, so it's not squeezing the price yet, so I still believe that this will come down and test the bottom of the BB. What happened? Okay. Well, anyway, so back to the bottom of the BB again. That's about 5,000. So I think we will come down and test this. We've done it every time, so I believe that we will come down and test the bottom of this BB once we break this support, and that's coming. So just keep your shorts ready. Obviously, and then we talked about the engulfing candle of the entire previous 3 weeks, which really put that last monthly candle, or the new monthly candle that just started, tried to finish off there, tried to break out, didn't quite happen. So again, that's where we go. Still the 3,000 mark. We need to watch out for that. That's the 200-week moving average, as well as kind of our target for the descending triangle. So we'll see what happens there. Go to the hourly. So on the hourly, we did touch the bottom of the BB, but we have not had that candle close out of there yet that I really like to see. So I still believe that this will eventually make its way back down here to the 6,200 mark or so. We probably will ride it down once we start to fall. Okay. Also on the hourly, remember your stop and reverse points are at 63.29, so I don't see us breaking that point. So just keep that in mind. Your stop and reverse stopped it here too, pretty short. So I mean, it may even be less than that. But anyway, keep that in mind that that is still a little bit of a bounce that is possible, but I still think that we're going down overall. Let's we got to refresh all of our charts now for some reason. So long shorts again. Shorts are still high. You know, that's one thing we need to be careful for. They're really high right now. I still expect a lot of shorts will drop once we get to that 6K mark. I think that we'll see a lot of them take profit. But this does worry me still a little bit. We have to keep that in mind that, you know, anytime that this happens, it may mean nothing. And, you know, it could mean a lot. But these could still get squeezed out. So we've got to keep that in mind as well. Alright, here's our oscillators for the 1 hour. Not quite oversold. The stock is coming back up, so you know it's making its a little bit of a rebound right now. But the RSI is still got some room to fall. TSI as well. Your CMF is still coming down overall, and your momentum is weak. So keep that in mind. If we go to the daily chart, obviously we did cross back over bear. It's trying to turn back a little bit. TSI is still not quite oversold. Either has the RSI. None of them have really quite got to that oversold level yet, and your momentum is still kind of coming down. So I expect this to drop a little bit more. If we look at the weekly, I believe we did cross back over to the bear side. We did. We did cross back over to the bear side. Again, like we explained a few weeks back, or you know, a week back or so, that I felt that this was going to happen. I didn't think that this was a strong crossover to a bull scenario, as it consolidated at a much weaker level. And now it's playing out that way as well. Again, your CMF still coming down, RSI, TSI, everything has a lot of room to fall. Let's check the 12-hour chart. Again, it's looking like it's trying to cross up again, but this is where we may see one of them rejections. This is coming to an end, but your momentum still is building. Your squeeze momentum downwards. So your momentum down is growing. We'll see what happens there. Your RSI is turning the other way, so is your TSI. Stock's just coming back up a little bit, but could be rejected here and pushed back down. Could also go up. I just don't think that's what we're going to see happen. So, okay, let's go. Coin market cap. That was the other thing. Dominance has risen again. It was at 56 yesterday when I refreshed it. Looking at it this morning, we're at 57 now. So we grew a % overnight in dominance. BTC is headed towards that 60% mark. As this climbs, your other altcoins, I mean, if you look at coin market cap, we're just going to keep dying. So keep that in mind when you're trading altcoins. I would just stay away from them right now. They're not worth anything. So just keep your money out of alts at the moment. Let's go jump over to Ether. Again, Ether is just not looking good. It hasn't been looking good. Again, we're back at that 180 mark. If you break this down on the daily chart, it looks really bad. We got to go to a different one though. Yeah, we'll go here. So we are now trading Wait a second, is this Bitstamp? Yeah, this is Bitstamp. Let's look at Coinbase. Sorry. Gives me a little longer history. Okay, so Ether is literally trading at some of its, you know, all-time support areas right now. It's holding there now, but again, we're still in a pretty sharp fall off here after we broke through the support that it had at 350 to 370 range. Now we're down at 181, and I mean, if it breaks the 132 mark, we're in big trouble. So keep that in mind with Ether. If it continues to fall, if we do see that next leg down in BTC, we could easily see sub 100 Ether soon. And it's nuts that we're talking about, but it is possible. So that's about where it's going. I mean, it's not really nuts. A lot of us expected that with most altcoins not going to hang around long. So, but again, this is another Ether area where I'm watching. If it breaks the 180 mark, it's definitely going to 132. And we may even see one of these nasty wicks right here. You know, this is on Coinbase. We may see one of these nasty wicks that brings it back to 10, 15 bucks for a minute or two. It's very possible if you look at this chart. I mean, it almost looks like it's a certainty versus possibility. So keep that in mind. I'm watching Ether. You know, I almost want to short it to 15 bucks. And just, you know, real low leverage and just hold it for a few weeks because I just don't see Ether turning around right now. Even in the BTC rallies that we've seen as of late, Ether hasn't made as much of a move. Ether has done worse. So just keep that in mind. I mean, you know, we had a nice rally June, July. And as we had the nice rally June, July, August, Ether fell. It didn't go up. And then, you know, then Bitcoin falls, it falls more. So just in these last few days when Bitcoin has made a nice little rally, you know, from the 60, 100 area or whatever back to 74 or 64, 65, 64 area, Ether has just continued to fall. So, and on the daily, it's just going straight down. So, Ether could be in a lot of trouble. No matter how you look at Ether, it don't look good. So anyway, I guess that's my conclusion for the day. I think that we need to realize that this bear market's not nowhere from over at the moment. Pending an ETF decision or something along those lines that could change that. At this point, I just don't see much change here going on. It's kind of following the charts nicely. And it's just showing that the possibility of a nasty fall here is very, 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 very possible. So, again, stay away from the longs. Don't mess with those. I'm not touching long right now. Not even to scalp it. Too dangerous. But I would like to see where we end up at in the next day or so. We'll come back and obviously we'll check tomorrow. We'll do this every day, but we'll see where we find tomorrow. But as of right now, still bearish. I don't see a bullish signal here anywhere. I mean, might have a little bit on the smaller time frames, but overall, I feel that the sentiment is down, falling down. Any decent move up, I would short with no questions. Just do it. So that's kind of my ideas. That's my plan. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Again, make sure you like, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Get tuned in so you can catch me when I pop on. Just, let's do that. Check me out on all of our social media. Check out our website, whatever you guys want. Most of our information and chatting goes on in Telegram. That link is also below in the video. If you don't trade BitMEX, go for it. We have a 10% link. Also, if you trade stocks, check out Robinhood. There's a link there for that as well. We'll both get a free stock. So check that out. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.